Hello everyone and welcome to the third episode of the 2020 City of Hamilton Arts Awards. Throughout Hamilton Arts Week, we will be celebrating all 61 of the incredible Arts Awards nominees and featuring special profiles of the award winners. In this video, we will be presenting the awards for Arts Management, Dance and Performing Arts, and Media Arts. Now, if you missed our previous videos, you can find it on the Arts Awards Facebook page at hamilton.ca/artsawards. The city of Hamilton is situated upon the traditional territories of the Erie, Neutral, Huron-Wendat, Haudenosaunee, and Mississaugas. This land is covered by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Belt Covenant, which was an agreement between the Haudenosaunee and Anishinaabeg to share and care for the resources around the Great Lakes. We further acknowledge that this land is covered by the Between the Lakes Purchase 1792 between the Crown and Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. Today, the city of Hamilton is home to many Indigenous people from across Turtle Island, North America. And we recognize that we must do more to learn about that rich history of this land so that we can better understand our roles as residents, neighbors, partners, and caretakers. The first award we will be announcing tonight is Arts Management. Arts managers are the engine behind some of Hamilton's most successful organizations, but their work is seldom seen. We are honored to be able to put their names front and center in recognition of all of their achievements. Thank you to BLR for sponsoring the Emerging Artist Award in this category. I think a lot of people, even artists, don't know all the hard work that arts managers do. They truly are the unsung heroes of our industry. The nominees in Arts Management are
Arts Management. Andrea Jackman. Andrea Jackman has been the curator at Earl's Court Gallery since 2009, following the completion of her Master's in Art History and BA in Studio Arts. Jackman has created exhibits that explore Inuit, textile, glass, contemporary, and historically significant Canadian artists with a specialized focus in historical Hamilton artists. Andrea has nominated Aurora Cachopo as her emerging artist. Aurora Cachopo is an emerging curator and arts management professional with a background in new media and museum studies. Abidar Kamgari. Abidar Kamgari is a visual artist, independent curator, and arts administrator. She is an active member of COBRA and advocates for opportunities for artists from equity-seeking groups. Abidar is currently the programming director at Hamilton Artists, Inc., where she leads the organization's programming vision through its exhibitions, public programs, and community events. Abidar has nominated
Michelle
Khan as her emerging artist.
Michelle
Khan is an emerging multimedia artist that hopes to subvert and resist oppressive gazes by focusing on preserving and documenting stillness, joy, and whimsical moments felt by her and other women of color. Christopher McLeod. Christopher McLeod is a social sculptor artist, artistic director, and educator. He has a BA in Studio Art from McMaster University and an MFA from Emily Carr University. He is the artistic director for the Great Art for Great Lakes project and just completed his role as director for the Hamilton Arts Council's Building and Cultural Legacies project. Christopher has nominated Alexis Moline as his emerging artist. Alexis Moline is a curator, writer, and researcher who aims to create thoughtful and accessible learning opportunities through the arts. Diana Weir. Diana Weir is an accomplished professional communicator and arts administrator. As former executive director of the Hamilton Philharmonic Orchestra, HPO enjoyed 5 straight years of budget surpluses and invested in an unprecedented volume of community outreach activities. Diana was recently a recipient of the YWCA Hamilton Women of Distinction Award and Canada Council's John Hobday Award for Arts Management. Diana has nominated Megan Norse as her emerging artist. Megan Norse is an emerging arts administration and communications professional in Hamilton and currently part of the marketing team at the Hamilton Philharmonic Orchestra. Julie Dring. Julie Dring is an arts manager with a background in artifact preservation and museum studies. She has worked in several galleries, museums, and archives, including the photography department at the Art Institute of Chicago. She holds an MA in photographic preservation and collections management from Ryerson University. Julie has nominated Jasmine Mander as her emerging artist. Jasmine Mander is an emerging artist administrator with a desire in developing accessible outreach programming in diverse communities.
And the recipient of this year's Hamilton Arts Awards for Arts Management goes to Abidar Kamgari and Michelle Khan as her emerging artist.
Hi, I'm Dave Beckett from BLR LLP. We're happy to once again be a sponsor for the Hamilton Arts Awards, and this year we'd like to recognize Michelle Khan as the 2020 Emerging Artist in Arts Management. Congratulations, Michelle.
So I'm really happy that I get to talk to you both because I get to be the person that talks to some of the nominees. But I'm only talking to the nominees that won.
Oh. What?
Really? Yes, really. Yeah.
Wow,
Congrats, Abidar.
that's very shocking.
So Michelle, as the emerging artist, like, what will this award do for you going forward?
I have done art in the past and I continue to create art, but like I think this kind of solidifies that belief in myself that I am an artist. And to like Abidar has really guided me towards that, and like meeting all these artists that came to Hamilton Artists Inc. and seeing how Julie and Abidar and all the staff supported them from the ground up is what like gave me the confidence, and this kind of just like is the cherry on top, which is really amazing. And I think for a long time I've lived in Hamilton ever since I like immigrated to Canada with my family, but I think the art scene is changing, that it's become more inclusive because of like folks like Abidar pushing the agenda at like every board meeting, every meeting with like higher ups, like different galleries. So yeah, I think we're creating more space and talking about really important issues like making things as accessible as possible, right? So yeah.
Like I have to say, a lot of things have happened over the last few years that have kind of snowballed, and I think that's a testament to the work that Cobra's been doing in the community, a testament to many amazing administrators and artists who've been noticing and challenging the status quo and pushing for change, and that change happens really slowly. But I think it does happen, and there's still a long road ahead. And I think for those of us who are in a privileged place like me to have a steady position within an art institution, I think it's part of my responsibility to notice the structural barriers that exist within these systems and try to crack away at them as much as possible. And
thank you so much to the jury for giving me this award. I'm so humbled to be receiving this and to have been nominated alongside so many amazing other nominees. I want to give a shout out to Michelle Khan, who is my emerging artist. I've learned so much from Michelle, both as an artist and as an arts administrator, and I'm really excited to see what she does next. I also want to acknowledge that while I'm really grateful to be receiving this award, a lot of the work that I do is done as part of a team. I'm really lucky to be working with such amazing people at Hamilton Artists Inc., our staff, our board members, our past board members, all the artists that we work with. The work that I do really would not be possible if I wasn't working so closely with so many other amazing people, and I didn't have this opportunity to really collaborate and learn from them. So I think while it's really lovely to be acknowledged, I also think this work is collaborative work, and I hope that the city will continue its investment in the arts, both through giving grants and opportunities to artists of all career levels, and also by continuing its commitment to providing operating funding to our arts organizations across the city. I also want to take this moment to talk about some of the things I've learned over the last few years, and hopefully some other folks can find them useful. So one of the things that I've seen a lot over the last few years is folks talking about wanting their organizations to be more inclusive, or wanting to bring in people from diverse backgrounds into their art spaces. And I think there's no correct way or formula to do this, but I think we have to remember that Canada was built on stolen Indigenous land. There's still a violent legacy of colonialism that continues to this day, and our arts institutions have been a part of that from the very beginning. So we've actually inherited a lot of these violent, harmful, or just simply exclusionary structures that aren't going to dismantle overnight. And a lot of times we don't even notice that they're there. And sometimes we even benefit from them. So I want to call on our arts organizations to, if you are really committing yourself to doing this work and wanting to bring people into your space, to consider devoting a portion of your operating funding to anti-oppression. Maybe you can consider devoting 1% of your annual operating budget to this kind of work. And you can use that money to bring in experts into your organization, to train your staff, to train your board, really train everybody who is a part of your organization about what this really means and what are the ways that we can be doing better. I really encourage you to bring in people who have the lived experience, who've been doing this training for many years. And I'm sure that by having them come into your organization and for you to have that training over a long period of time, will really transform your organization in the best ways. And hopefully, as part of that training, you will also put in plans to implement what you're learning, to change policy, to shift the way that you're operating. And I think at least for us at Hamilton Artists Inc., that's been something that has really shifted the way that we were working, has really transformed our thinking, and I couldn't recommend it enough. So to end this thing off, I want to take this moment to acknowledge some of the amazing organizations in the city and kind of give them a shout out and encourage folks to go out and support them, whether that's financially if you're able to, or through your time by volunteering or sharing your resources with them. There's a lot of amazing folks in the city doing anti-racist work, anti-oppressive work, and I think there's a lot that we could learn from them. So I want to give a shout out to COBRA, the Coalition of Black and Racialized Artists, who's a completely volunteer-ran organization, and they've been ringing the alarm bells for many, many years to bring our attention to the inequities that we are facing in the arts scene here. And I think through their work, we are much better for it, and I think there's still definitely a long, long way to go. I also want to give a shout out to the Hamilton Center for Civic Inclusion, who do really amazing anti-racist work, and they actually are running an anti-racism conference online right now, and I really encourage folks to check it out. The Disability Justice Network of Ontario, they've been doing this amazing caremongering program where they're giving food kits to families that need them, and it's all run through volunteers. They're amazing, and I've learned so much from their work as well, and I really encourage you to check them out. So thank you so much for listening. I'm again so grateful to be receiving this award, and I really hope to see you all in person very soon. Thank you.
We are now going to announce the winners of the Dance and Performing Arts Awards. This category includes traditional and contemporary dance, comedy, storytelling, circus arts, and so much more. Thank you to Core Urban for sponsoring the Emerging Artist Award in this category. The nominees in Dance and Performing Arts are
Dance and Performing Arts. Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor is a dancer, choreographer, and artist educator based in Hamilton, where he is the owner and artistic director of Defining Movement Dance. Specializing in hip-hop, street dance, and urban dance, Josh uses strong narratives and themes in his choreography and performances, exploring hip-hop culture, pop culture, and socio-political issues. Josh has nominated Janessa Pudwell as his emerging artist. Janessa Pudwell is an emerging dance artist, choreographer, and instructor who is dedicated to mastering her craft to share with the community and the next generation. Trevor Kopp. Trevor Kopp is a performance creator who draws on theater, mime, and partner dance to devise and perform his work. His work ranges from contemporary original to highly physical interpretations of Shakespeare. Trevor has nominated Claude Spadafora as his emerging artist. Claude Spadafora is an emerging multidisciplinary performance artist with a focus on creating abstract and visceral experiences within an anti-oppressive framework.
I'm Laura. I'm hosting the Arts Awards online this year. You both are nominated for dance, right?
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Yeah, and Josh, you're the established and Janessa is your emerging artist, correct?
Yes.
Awesome. And I feel really lucky this year because I get to talk to a lot of the nominees, but not all of them, just the winners.
Oh,
Wait, what?
Just the winner.
Oh.
Yeah.
For real?
Cool.
For real.
Oh, that's neat. Hey.
Hey, all the woes.
Oh, whoa.
Congratulations to both
Thank
of
you very
you.
much.
Janessa, you're the emerging, winning the Arts Awards for dance. What is that going to do for you in like your career going forward? Is this a big step for you, an investment going forward in your next project, or?
Yeah, definitely. It's gonna be I think a really big step for me to move into the next kind of part of my career. I really want to work on putting on some shows and getting my name out there a little bit. So this is really cool. Yeah. Thank you.
I'm very honored to win this award, especially as I so very respect the many brilliant nominees in the various categories, including the talented Trevor Kopp. Dance really did find its way to me, and I will forever be grateful. Growing up, it was in hip hop and R&B music videos and much music, repeat watching MJ's Remember the Time. In college, it was freestyling, battling, and popping and breaking with my boys. Then falling headfirst into ballroom and Latin dancing, where our vibrant salsa community here would woo me, and then taking time to help it grow. And during that whole time, getting deeper into my respect, knowledge, love, and the social political roots of hip hop and street dance, to now, where I have the pleasure and honor of working with hungry dancers, young and old, from every walk of life. And at times it wasn't easy, like for all working artists, but for some of those out there like myself, there was an added layer of resistance. I would occasionally run into not being taken seriously because of the color of my skin, having organizers be in disbelief I could be the owner of a business that they were communicating with. Oh, you just spoke so well. Or even having a colleague deny my own experiences of racism and the very existence of white privilege. Having my accomplishments downplayed because it was more due to my being Black than my art. Ask any racialized artist out there and they can tell you 100 stories just like it. Just within their time of being a working artist, much less their entire life. I say this because we are seeing a growing outcry against injustice and systemic racism beyond the racialized people who have been yelling it out for years, asking others to see what was right in front of their eyes. So although people are seeing it now, this has always been our reality. And if we expect it to change, we must do the work. Read, research, vote, donate, listen, support racialized people, businesses, organizations, and artists. Lift their voices. I can personally enjoy the point I'm at because numerous artists and pioneers paved the way here in our city for me. People like Eclipse, the Style Lords, the countless B-boys and B-girls, MCs, DJs, graffiti artists who set the stage here. Hamilton is home to such profound talent. Recognizing artists, and their contributions is so important in our city and our society. And with that, I'd like to recognize our amazing dance community. So talented, so diverse, and incredibly supportive. I owe my success to this community and those who came before. I love them and I love my city. So I made a little something to show my love to both. And although I'm missing quite a few people and I have mad respect for, like Alex Menjivar and Farai Malik, here's something to a song by brilliant Hamilton-raised MC Ellie G's.
Wait, what? You a little crazy over this?
Hamilton. Hey, yeah. TAT.
Rock a block, baby.
Roses. Hills, what up? Look. Crack fiends still up on them city blocks. Downtown flooded with patrolling cops. Dope boy, fire to that glass hot. In other words, ain't gotta ask if that boy rock. Whoa. Henceforth, you don't want no smoke with him. Pardon, old English to the flow for them. Killing any artist, that's for sure, bit 'em. Put your money where your mouth is and go get 'em. Verse for verse, sense the thirst in these ink spitters. Rap flippers, that's park best trap dippers. Cash getters, dress new gat grippers. When time come, dip and run, leaving glass slippers. Fake, let them know they rhyme suck. Any clock on the wall, they time's up. All black V with the matching guts, different trusts. Right side, whining on your wifey, boy, slow down. Product of my city, what you done now? Marathon flow, running up and get you run down. All tracks, pumps and a bump when they roll round. Hammertown zone, if they don't, they gon' know now. Whoa. Time's coming crazy, but the flow play. Coming from the north, rider rep the whole thing. 401 to QEW, whipping all lanes. Fast and slow, head boys, we do our own thing. Wait, I'm from the H, baby, know that. Know that. I'm from the H, baby, know that. Know that. I'm from the H, baby, know that. AM, ill with a ton of pull, hold that. The last will come first and the first last. So you ain't gotta ask how you blew past. Let you borrow space, now I need the cash. Call it double for the gesture. That's the first and last time I give a brother time. Borrow for my craft, I ain't waiting around for no one. Follow up against hot potato, how that brother passed. Pedal mash, spinning tires fast. 120 on the dash, brother. Whoa, sense a bit of cocky in his lane.
Our final award presentation of this video is Media Arts. This category includes everything from photography and film, graphic design and animation, to digital art and new media. Thank you to DPAI for sponsoring the Emerging Artist Award in this category. And the nominees for Media Arts are
Media Arts. Adam Carter. Adam Carter films live concerts, makes music videos, designs concert posters, crafts album artwork, creates logos, and promotes live music in Hamilton. As an active musician in Hamilton's music scene for over 20 years, Adam is uniquely suited to understand the creative needs of gigging musicians and recording artists. Adam has nominated Danielle Donville as his emerging artist. Danielle Donville is an emerging graphic designer and photographer who is focusing on helping local musicians grow their brands and develop their visual assets. Cher Obadiah. Cher Obadiah is Seneca Ojibwe from Six Nations. She's a filmmaker, workshop facilitator, a writer, speaker, and certified fitness instructor. Born in Brantford, Ontario, Cher started in theater at age 10. She followed that passion through television and film. She's dedicated to inspiring social change and motivating others to recognize their worth. Cher has nominated Andrea Williams as her emerging artist. Andrea Williams, spirit name Ma'injinkwe from the Turtle Clan, is a proud Black Indigenous woman and community educator using her emerging videography and photography skills to capture Indigenous ways of knowing and being through a digital lens so that this generation can move forward, carrying both traditional and new ways with them. Chris Meyer. Chris Meyer is a Hamilton-based media artist whose practice engages with photography, sound, and the moving image. Meyer's work seeks intersections between art, science, and ecology, examining our complex interconnections with Earth's hydrosphere and the tension between water as a generative influence as well as a source of destructive power. Chris has nominated Christina Durka as his emerging artist. Christina Durka is an emerging media artist who uses interdisciplinary sculpture and video installation to navigate the complex maternal abject relationships between humans and animals.
And the recipient of this year's Hamilton Arts Awards for Media Arts goes to Cher Obadiah with Andrea Williams as her emerging artist.
Congratulations to Andrea Williams, this year's recipient for the award for Emerging Artist in Media Arts. And thank you to the City of Hamilton for hosting these awards. It is so important that we support artists, especially during times of hardship. Art is the very fabric of being human. It helps us make sense of the world and will be instrumental in imagining a new and better path forward. Again, congratulations, Andrea, and congratulations to all this year's recipients.
I'm so happy I get to talk to you guys. I'm hosting this year online, and I'm really glad I get to talk to some of the nominees and stuff. And you guys are both media arts, right?
Yes.
Which is awesome. Are you excited that you're nominated?
Oh, it was so thrilling. Yeah. It was really, I really appreciated that.
Yeah, definitely.
But you must be even more excited because you won, though.
Actually, didn't know that.
Well,
I didn't know that.
You do. Now you both know that you totally won.
What?
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
That's incredible. I didn't know that.
Andrea, can I just ask you, because you're the emerging artist, like, winning this award, what will this do for you going forward in your practice?
I think what this really means is that it's a validation of not just my community, but also my journey. Because I sit with two communities that are strongly embedded in oral traditions and oral teachings, that alignment with media, new technology, really enforces and helps carry forward who I am and my community. So it gives me permission to continue on that path, and it validates the alignment of those two mediums. Like oral tradition is sometimes in our community a bit lost, right? So being able to carry it forward with new technology, with media technology, and it just gives me permission to continue to do that. So I'm just like a little bit shaky from that, because I just really appreciate that. Thanks.
Oh, no, I'm so glad.
Andrea, I love what she's working specifically with elders, youth, education. Oh gosh, that's immeasurable. It's so important.
Yeah. You're the one that really helped me shine that light. So, I mean, that's the magic of our community, is that we really do help bring our members forward and recognizing those gifts that each of us carry. So we really do rely on each other to see what sparks our interest and to encourage us to continue with that. And that's what Cher has done. So I'm extremely grateful to her as well.
Hi, thank you for the recognition. I am so deeply, deeply grateful. I'd like to congratulate all of the nominees because in the big picture, if you're doing what you love, that is an everyday win. I've been asked to introduce my documentary short. It's called Ganestado, The Protected Place. And the protected place is land that Six Nations reclaimed back in 2006 in Caledonia. And the whole thing was it got very tumultuous. There was a lot of violence and anger, and it went national at that time. So what you're about to see are perspectives that were not widely shared in the mainstream media at that time. So I really hope that it leaves you with a better understanding of the Haudenosaunee people and of our shared history. And if it does speak to you, I have another 5-minute short that will be screening online on June 17th in a show called Soaring Spirits, an evening of Indigenous shorts. And I'll be hosting that show, and at the end, all of the filmmakers will be available for a Q&A online. So if you'd like to learn more about that, go to the Hamilton Film Festival website, and there's tabs across the top. Go to the one that says More, and this is part of the Be in the Room series. So thank you again, Chimigwich, Nyawe, and enjoy!
The Six Nations people finally stood up and said, not one more inch.
The cap came off of this fizzing bottle and psh. But what did Ontario, what did Canada do? They've built a whole system that protects them for all the thefts of our lands, our resources, all the taxes they're collecting, everything that they've stolen. And I use that word, stolen. So who are the criminals? And where's the lawlessness? Because the only thing that happened in 2006 is the Haudenosaunee finally said, we've had enough. You buy a piece of land somewhere and try and research it. The only place that you're going to go back to is back to that crown patent. I can guarantee it. You'll never see how it got from that Haudenosaunee to the crown, ever.
More and more white people, like myself, are getting curious about it, and they want to know the real truth. And most people want to be fair. Most people want to be fair. But you cannot be fair unless you know the history. Unless you're educated in the true history of Canada, you can't be fair. It's impossible.
If the Mohawks and the other Native allies had not been there to fill in the border and defend, we'd probably be leaving the States today.
It was a very significant involvement, and there's no question they probably couldn't have survived the war without Native help.
They needed the Six Nations people, and in particular the Mohawks, in order to preserve their own country. So therefore, they were friendly, they were obliging, they made all of these treaties and promises, and then promptly broke them all.
We have 999-year leases that was supposedly entered into by our Chiefs Council. That was illegal at the time, according to British law. British common law, a 999-year lease didn't exist. But somebody somewhere along the lines took that 99-year lease and they added another 900 years. When we had the negotiation process with Canada and Ontario and the Haudenosaunee, Canada said, well, we believe it was your intent to surrender. We know, based on our understanding right from creation, that there would never be an intent to surrender because we're always looking out for the future.
I can't find any logic in taking almost 1 million acres of land and saying, oh, you can have it just as long as we can have this 44,000 acres here. Oh, go ahead, take it.
Every municipality on the Grand River was told by the Province of Ontario and the Places to Grow Act, it's legislated, that they had to grow. Do you think that this is going to continue to sustain us? When our population is growing just as quickly as yours, and yet you get to go keep taking more of our land base?
According to the Royal Proclamation, there was a whole list of things that had to be done to dispose of land in order to make it legal. None of that was done in the 1841 document. None of it. So it's illegal by Canada's own laws. I know people today are saying, well, why are they just complaining now? Joseph Brant himself complained, put a petition in saying, hey, whoa, whoa. How about an accounting of our trust fund? How about an accounting of where our land is? It's been ignored and set aside and given to the next generation and the next generation of politicians. You look after it, you look after it, you look after it. And so now here we are 250 years later. Caledonia has brought all of this stuff to the surface. That's not saying that everything that happened there was right, proper, or upright. But keep in mind, there was a war mentality at that time. I honestly heard some of the older people say, it's a good day to die.
And we called it actions. It wasn't about protesting. It was about taking action and taking back our responsibility. There is no protest when it comes to taking back your responsibility. You just do it.
Congratulations to all the nominees and recipients of the Hamilton Art Awards this year. I also wanted to say thank you. Thank you for sharing your artistic expression with all of us. It is your work that so many of us have leaned to and leaned on in these truly uncertain, challenging, and traumatic times. I fundamentally believe that art isn't a mirror that reflects society, rather a hammer with which to shape it. And so all the Hamilton artists who've been helping shape what's possible by sharing your dreams, your stories, and your inspiration, for sharing the beauty and the heartache that is part of our everyday existence, and to do it in ways that just compel us and drive us and resonate so deeply. I want to say that your work is a contribution to who we are as a humanity and who we will be when we recover this pandemic together. Thank you, and I look forward to celebrating with you again one day.
Congratulations to all of tonight's award recipients. Head on over to the Hamilton Arts Week's page at www.hamiltonartscouncil.ca/artsweek to view tonight's signature performance, Apostolaus, featuring Deeps, Avery Tanner, Jim Ruxton, Current Fantasy, and Winter Child. The sponsors of this year's City of Hamilton Arts Awards are IPC Securities, BLR, Core Urban Inc., DPAI, the Insight Foundation, and the Hamilton Community Foundation, with in-kind support from Hamilton Spectator, Banco Media, and View Magazine. We sincerely thank every one of them for their ongoing support of the arts in Hamilton. Join us for our next watch party on June 18th at 7 p.m. where we will announce the winners of Writing, Music, and the Shirley Elford Emerging Artist Prize.